If you're an Excel power user, you already know how to push spreadsheets to their absolute limit. But what if I told you there's another level? A way to pair Excel with a modern programming language to unlock a whole new world of automation and power. Okay, let's get into it and see how Python can take you from a power user to a power programmer.
Check this out. This is a quote from the head of product for Excel himself, Brian Jones. He actually argues that if you're using functions like VLOOKUP or SUM, you're basically writing code. You're building logic, nesting functions, you're programming. It's kind of an empowering way to think about your skills, isn't it?
But this brings up a really important question. If your spreadsheet is a program, what happens when there's a bug? See, in traditional software development, there are whole systems built just to find and fix errors. In Excel, well, things can get a little dicey, and the stakes can be much, much higher.
And believe me, they do go wrong, sometimes with absolutely catastrophic consequences. So let's take a look at why even the most perfectly built spreadsheets are just inherently risky. Okay, take a look at this picture. It's just a simple currency converter, but it shows a huge problem. See that one cell, D4. It's trying to do 3 different jobs all at once. It's showing you the result, that's the presentation. It's doing the math, that's the business logic. And it's grabbing the exchange rate, that's the data. When you mash all these layers together like this, finding an error becomes nearly impossible, especially as your spreadsheets get bigger.
So what's the worst that can happen? I mean, really? Well, how about $6 billion? And no, that's not some hypothetical number. That is the actual, real cost of a single spreadsheet mistake for one of the biggest banks in the world.
Back in 2012, a JP Morgan trader they called the London Whale managed to lose that mind-boggling amount of money. And the root cause? A risk model that lived entirely in Excel. The whole thing relied on people manually copying and pasting data from one sheet to another, which is always a massive red flag. The fatal mistake, as you can see right there, was a tiny formula error. A cell was dividing by the sum of 2 numbers instead of their average, which totally underestimated the risk.
And I'm willing to bet this looks painfully familiar to, well, just about all of us. You see, professional programmers use tools like Git to track every single change. In the world of Excel, our version control is this. A folder just jammed with confusing file names. Who changed what? Why did they change it? It's a total black box, which makes working together a complete nightmare.
So, how do we fix all this? The risks are very real, but the answer isn't to just ditch Excel. No, the answer is to give it a modern, incredibly powerful partner, Python.
Here's the thing you have to understand. VBA, the language for Excel macros, is basically stuck in time. It hasn't had a major update since 1997. I mean, think about all the technology that's changed since then. Python, on the other hand, is this dynamic, modern language that's become the #1 choice for data scientists and analysts all over the world.
Let's just do a quick comparison. So look on the left. That's how VBA handles errors. It's got these clunky go-to statements that make your code jump all over the place. Now look at the Python code on the right. It's just so much cleaner, so much more intuitive. It literally says, hey, try to do this, and if you get an exception, do this other thing instead. It's just elegant. It's easier to read and way easier to maintain.
And here's another perfect example of readability. On the left, that's the VBA code to calculate portfolio variance. It's this complicated mess of nested functions. Then, on the right, you have Python. It's clean, it's simple, and it looks almost exactly like the mathematical formula it's representing. That makes it so much easier to understand what's going on and to spot any mistakes.
So to wrap it all up, Python gives you modern features that make your code safer and way more readable. It unlocks this incredible universe of powerful data science libraries. It's cross-platform, which means you're not locked into Windows. And maybe the most important part, learning Python is a skill you can take with you everywhere, way beyond just Excel.
Okay, so theory is great and all, but let's actually see what these superpowers look like in practice. What are the key tools that make this partnership between Excel and Python so darn effective?
First up is a library called Pandas. And trust me, this thing is the absolute workhorse for data analysis in Python. The best way to think of it is like having a spreadsheet program running inside of Python, but one with incredible superpowers. It can clean up messy data, merge a dozen spreadsheets into one, or run complex stats. If you've ever used Power Query, just think of Pandas as Power Query on steroids.
Next up is the magic glue that connects everything,
Excel Wings. This library is the bridge. It lets your Python code talk to Excel, reading and writing to your files. But even better, you can put a button right in your spreadsheet that when you click it, runs a powerful Python script in the background to update everything. That's what Excel Wings does.
And this is where things get really, really cool. Just look at this chart. It was made with a Python library called Plotly. You can hover over the data points to get more info. You can zoom in on a specific time. You can even turn data series on and off just by clicking. This is a level of interactive visualization that's just way beyond what you can do with a standard Excel chart.
So what does all this mean for your day-to-day, for your actual workflow? How does combining these two tools really change the way you build reports and analyze data? Let's just walk through a classic real-world example.
Okay, picture this task. Every single month, you get a bunch of different sales files. Some are the old .xls format, some are the new .xlsx. You know the drill. You have to open every single one, copy the data, paste it into some master file, and then build your report. It's so tedious, and it is so easy to make a mistake. With Python, that entire process becomes a simple 4-step script that does all the heavy lifting for you, perfectly, every single time. And boom! This is the result. A perfectly clean, consolidated report, all generated automatically. What might have taken you an hour of painful, error-prone copy-pasting is now done in a couple of seconds with a single click. This isn't just faster, it's safer, and it's 100% repeatable.
This right here is really the main takeaway. You truly get the best of both worlds. You get to keep the flexible, familiar interface of Excel that everyone knows, but you power it with a robust, modern automation engine. You save time, you make fewer mistakes, and you build systems that can scale.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Just think about the spreadsheets you work with every day, the reports you have to build, the data you're analyzing. They are filled with valuable information, with hidden stories. By adding Python to your skill set, what new insights could you find? What new stories could you tell?